Yep, there it is. So if you want to see how I made this track that can extend, look at this video. Welcome back, guys. So today I'm going to teach you how to make 2 tracks. You can make as many as you want, but right now 2 tracks out of long pieces of cardboard that you can find around. Now what I did is I took a piece of a water heater and then I cut it into sections. These are 12-inch. This is 12-inch, and I just made this one smaller than this one, and I'll show you why here in a second. And then I also did 1/2-inch strips from the same piece of cardboard. So what are you gonna do? What you're gonna need is hot glue gun, very sharp knife, a pen to mark your lines, hot glue sticks, and obviously you need some sort of card to test that out. But anyways, now I got this from a water heater, and it's a very long piece right here. If you can go to your local plumbing supply places, anybody that installs plumbing, just ask them if they have those boxes, because those water heaters can be tall, and you get very good pieces, very sturdy board from this. So like I said, 12 inches, and then this, make it like an inch smaller than this piece. All these are 1/2-inch pieces from the same piece of cardboard. That way it's very easy to put together. Now this is a straight edge, and I use this to prop up against the wood. To prop up against the cardboard, to be able to have a guide for the knife to cut. And you just very carefully use that as a base, put some pressure on the board, and you go over it a couple of times. You can pull it up to the edge of the table so you're not scratching up your table, your place. And then you just go across very thoroughly, and it'll eventually just pop off like this. So just be careful, because you are messing with a sharp knife. So next you're gonna take your hot glue gun and just put glue all over the edge and start sticking these pieces on there. So you very carefully put the glue, and then you take the piece. As you can see, you can just put the glue and then set it on there. It will stick just fine. You can just put the glue right along the side. Take it, stick it on. And you can see how that's working together. Now you have this big track that gives enough space for the cars to kind of pass each other and go left and right. All right, so now this one is done. As you can see, straight edge, big track, long track, very easy. It's gonna be very simple to finish. And then, like I said, this one's gonna be smaller than this, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a size that's between this size and that size, because I did make this one kind of small. So I need another track that's gonna be slightly smaller, and then this one's gonna go next, and then I'm gonna make one that's slightly smaller than this one. That way I can make just like a long track without having to make any connections for them, and they can just naturally set right on top of each other like this. And it'll make it easy for transport, but that way it can just transition into the next part very easily. Okay, so here's an example. So I finished these 2, and like I was showing you before, they overlap over one another. And then I went ahead and measured this. This is 11-inch space in here, a little bit bigger than 11 inches. So what I'm gonna do is measure out 11 inches. Well, take 2. Anyways, that's 11 inches. I measured it again, 11 inches. So that's gonna be slightly smaller than this. And then I went ahead and measured 1/2 inch, quarter. That should actually be 1/4 inch. So I'm gonna, I did measure, it is 1/2 inch actually. So 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch. And that's gonna give you 1, 2, 3, 4 of the strips that are gonna be on the side. And then from here to here, it's gonna be roughly about, maybe, I think it was like 29 inches or so. Let's see, 7 inches. About 7 inches. Whatever that space is, it's gonna be okay, because it's gonna be smaller then this section, and we can just overlap it right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this, put it on top, and then you can line up your straight edge right up to the line, and then do the other side, and then you can start cutting. So I'm gonna go ahead and start cutting. One important thing to note is that when you take the knife and start slicing it, if you go ahead and slice it at an angle, you can have this angle where when you put the cardboard against the top of the other cardboard, it already has an angle out. Very much like that. I don't know if you can see that, but it's like a little wedge similar to the Hot Wheels tracks. So it kind of keeps the car from hitting the edges and more of the wheels just hitting and spinning. I don't know how much it does to that, but it should help a little. Okay, and as you can see, this is how it's gonna go. In theory, you should be able to make a ramp that transitions from here to here to there, and then right there. So right now, obviously it's a little overlapped because of the space, but you can essentially have an entire long track that you can put together really quickly. And then if you want to take it places, it's just as simple as doing this, and all of a sudden you can take the entire track this way. And then just imagine more layers right on top, or smaller layers. There's plenty of space. I can make another one that's like a size between these two. I can make another one that's a size between these two, and then a bigger one. And then you can just take it to places like that. You want to take it somewhere really quick, you have your track, easy. You just need a car long enough, depending on the vehicle. But yeah, there it is. Yep, there it is. So if you want to see how I made this track that can extend, look at this video. There you go. Just imagine. The possibilities are endless, and you know it. So have fun, go make something, and enjoy it. See ya.